Okay, there's the basket empty on the trusty old stand. I've done a mix of the soil, which is multi-purpose, some 6X manure and some blood fishing bark. I'm just going to plant direct into there, and so I'll add a bit of, probably charge into the planting hole of the tomato. So there it is planted up, well, with the soil in ready for the plants to receive the plants. I've left a good inch below the top of the rim of the liner to retain the wood, so that when it waters it can take quite a bit in, because these are thirsty plants. I've got 3 of these beauts to put in, Tumbling Tom red, and as you can see they've already got flower on, so the sooner I get them in, the better. Magic. There it is, done. Another one to cross off that list. While I was moving the ices out, I came across this, and I'd forgotten all about it actually. It's a begonia I got in a basket last year, and I just took the comb out and put it down there to dry out basically, and it's fired up again, so I think I'll find a pot and put that in. Deserves another chance. And there he is, all potted up. I managed to give him a little treat in the end and find him a nice terracotta pot. Hopefully he'll be happy there. All that's left now to do is give him a good soaking. Well folks, it's starting to warm up now, and finally getting around to planting the tomatoes up. I've just done a mix. I spent all morning really watering the old plot with the hose pipe. People come and use the hose pipe for like 10 minutes, that's no good. You've got to really soak the ground, and the ground was totally dry, it was running off in places. Anyway, I've given that a good soaking. That's took most of the morning. Then I started off, cleared a bit of the one side of the greenhouse out. That took a long while as well. It's amazing how much stuff you accumulate. And now I'm just going around to actually planting the first tomatoes up. I've done a mix, and I'll just show you what I've done. I've taken the top cover off the onions now. There's the overwintering onions, some nice decent size there, but quite a few have actually thrown seed heads up. And there's the garlic in the middle starting to get yellow now, so that won't be long. And also the elephant garlic on the end, that's whacked some seed heads up. So I'm leaving that off, the top off now. Needs weeding desperately in the middle, but I've got to get in there. I've done around the sides. Look, some decent plants in there though. Anyway, I'll just show you the mix we've got. It's the normal, I think I've used about 8 parts multi-purpose compost, a couple of handfuls of perlite, a scoopful of 6X manure, and there'll be some blood fishing bone, and that'll be going into this these flower pots. I'll still be using the collars on the top. Okay, so this is the pot topped up to the top. I'm going to use my friend here, the old growing ring. I'll just pop into the top. Try and get it somewhere in the centre. Press it down. And the tomato and that'll just go in here. One thing I like about this is that you can control the watering, where it goes up and fill that reservoir up, and also the feeding. Put it in there now and it's going straight down onto the roots. Let's go and get the plant. Okay, we're starting the show off this year with an old favourite called Shirley. Shirley's been very patient, and you can see from that root ball she's more or less trying to get into the pot. So without further ado, let's go in. Just before. That's it in position. I think I might just sink the pot into the border, probably a couple of 2 or 3 inches, and then I'll put the cane up. I'm hoping to probably get, I don't know, 5 or 6 along the length of the greenhouse, and cucumbers probably at the back. So there we have it. It's sunk in the soil about a couple of 3 inches. I've given the old plant a good drenching first, just to bed it in, as I say. and the water, as you can see from the moat around the outside of the plant, is draining quite well into the soil, so I think that's a winner. Morning folks. When I got first thing this morning it was quite pleasant. It's forecast about 24-25 today, however now it's just coming up before 10 o'clock. This must be about 15-16 degrees, it's gone quite cold. Anyway, I'm going to carry on and in the greenhouse I'll update a bit later on. The greenhouse is all planted up now, well apart from maybe one or two things in the front of this left hand border, but I'll just take you around and show you what we've got. First one we have here is Shirley, a good favourite amongst gardeners, this one. Next in line is the Gardener's Delight again, another very popular variety. And yet again another very popular variety again, Alicante. I do like the flavour of this one, it is a nice tomato. I'm bringing up the rear of this first row. Is a new one to me. It was given to me by one of the other plot holders. It's called Principe Borghese. I've never ever grown this before. I think this is another one of the heritage, and it's mainly grown for drying, reading up on the internet about it. Along the back row in the blue buckets we have the cucumbers. There's two varieties called Louisa, which I've never ever grown before, so this is a first for me on that one. And moving across to the other pair is the Burpless variety, which I did grow last year and had a great crop, so hopefully they'll perform again. Moving on to the right hand side we've got the Crimson Crush, which is the allegedly blight resistant. I've got 10 of those outside growing, so it'll be interesting to see how this performs indoors. Moving on we have the Marmando, which is new to me again, I've never grown this one. Okay, and along there we've got the Super Sweet 100, which I did grow last year and had a fairly decent crop off there. Lots of lovely little cherry tomatoes. That is a nice plant. Bringing up the rear on the right hand side is a variety called Tomato Cherokee Purple. Again, this is another heirloom type variety. I actually had this one, well two actually, given to me by Jamie from Overgrow the UK, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. In this border here I've planted 5 capsicums, the peppers, and I've also interplanted in between there some lettuce, and also along the back they are the little gems, the Cos variety. So we'll see how that goes. So that's the final planting more or less of the greenhouse for 2016. 2.5 now, but at the, as you can see from the top, it's actually reached today 44.8, and I've had the door open, and in old money that's 112.6 degrees. And if you don't really understand how hot that is, these are some 100-hour candles I'd left in the greenhouse, and as you can see it's actually melted the Trex oil. Well folks, there's another one to tick off the list at last. You may remember the old rickety bench we had 3 or 4 episodes ago. Well, it's had a makeover, and here it is. I made it a foot longer so I can lie down in the sun and enjoy the allotment. It will need one more coat, I think, of wood stain, because it's got a few little scuffs on where I've been tightening the bolts and putting the screws in there, but that's no problem. But overall, I'm pleased with it. All in all, looks like we've got another nice day in store. So I think the job for today, I'll try and get the sweet corn out. This is a bed where it's planned to go, together with the celery and anything else we can get in there. It's been covered up a lot of the winter and spring and that, so hopefully when I take the cover off it shouldn't need a lot of working. taking the cover off, I've obviously disturbed an ant's nest here, and you can see all the eggs or chrysalis, whatever they are. But it's amazing to see the ants all of a sudden racing to take the cases down under the ground. That's the sweet corn in the road trainers. As you can see from down there, it's way past its time. It should have been out a long while ago. As you can see there, it's got a decent root ball on it, so hopefully it'll pick up as soon as we get it in the ground. 36 plants of sweet corn planted out. The variety is Lark F1. These last few days have certainly brought the plants on, most noticeably the celery, so it's time to plant them out. The variety is Lothom self-blanching. It's the one I grow every year and I always get a decent crop of it. I'm planting them out in a row of 8. I'll put my little pot markers out there. There'll be 3 rows, there'll be 24 plants in all. So this variety of celery is called Lothom self-blanching. I grow it most years and it's a really good crop. The main thing with celery is to keep them watered, well watered, because they are a bog type plant, so it's virtually impossible to overwater them. All in all, we had quite a heavy rainstorm last night, and it's done the garden very good really. You can see the stuff looking nice and fresh, but now's an ideal time I think to do a bit of weeding, so I'm going to crack on for the next hour or so and try and clean a bit of this up. And the amusing thing is here on the bottom end of the plot we've got a crow which has nested in one of the trees, and about a week ago the young had just left the nest and it was down on the plot, and I happened to strike one up. I think I frightened it, and since then he's took a dislike to me, so every time I'm around he circles above me crowing. If I can catch him on film I'll show you. With most of the brassicas in, all but a few in the centre bed there, I've put the framework up ready for the netting. As you can see, I've used these lamp pins or line pins, whatever you call them, and canes, strapped them together with cable ties, zip ties, and it's built to really a firm structure. So all I've done now is put a few slug pellets down and get the net back on. Right, that's that done. There's 3 rows, 10 per row, and the variety is Autumn Giant. I put up board owl about 9 inches deep and just dropped a leek into each one. As I insert the leek into the hole, I just keep turning it anti-clockwise, and I find it helps the roots get down to the bottom of the hole. And all that's left now to do is to give the hole a good soaking. Rather than just use a conventional watering can to fill the hole, which I find collapses, I tend to use my lance sprayer and actually get the jet in the hole. That's all done now, and it's nice to see the water slow drain in the holes, so that does give the roots a chance to get covered with a bit of soil and whatever. Now hopefully it'll set them off to growing well. Okay, it's a bit different this one is. You'll see I've got another 2 colleagues with me. You might recognise Alan Jackson from his YouTube website. If you haven't been there, I'll put a link underneath so you can check him out. And this unknown other variety here is his grandson Nathan, who's usually on the other end of the camera when Alan's filming. So he's just popped down to have a look at the plot today and have a cup of tea, bit of cake, and what do you think so far?
Well, very impressed, Nigel, to be honest with you. Very, very impressed.
I've been up all night cleaning.
That doesn't surprise me. No, I am very, very impressed with the way you've got it.
Thank you.
I've followed you now for a good while. How long have you been on?
About 14 months.
Well, it must be 12 months I've actually been following you for now. And you come over well. I just love the way you do your videos.
Can
like
you
the way
understand
you do
this Midland accent?
Yeah,
Black country
I could say some, but I won't. No, very much so.
Yeah.
I can. And I say you come across well, and I like the way you do things. I've learned quite a bit off you, to be honest with you. Picked quite a few things up.
I think YouTube in general is good because I'll scour other people's videos and pinch ideas off them.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
It is. That was the reason I got onto YouTube. Originally, I think it was Sean's channel, the horticultural channel that I first started watching, and Rick Van Man. Which I thought was very good.
Yeah.
Then Blue Star Day, which is just a character, isn't it? Just an absolute character. Nora Hepburn's another one, and of course Mark from what's called now Allotment Diggers.
Allotment Diggers. I've placed is it an area managed called Waste or something?
Waste.
You're not allowed to say that.
Yeah, apparently
I'll edit that out, Mark, if you look.
Hey Mark, at least he's a different sort of footballer than you, mate. He's Wolves, he supports, a decent team.
Proper team, Actually, an ex-Man United player, his favourite team was Wolves, and his name was George Best.
Yeah, an excellent player. Anyway, going back to the gardening, I brought a couple of Nigel was mentioning he was looking for tanks, so in my job being heating engineer, I do get a few tanks. So I got a few of these 20-gallon tanks, and I brought them up for him, and he's been kind enough to exchange these with me, haven't you? Celery, so
a fair exchange.
Yeah. So I've just taken all my leeks out now.
Alan's brought me a nice begonia up as well, that's in a pot.
Which incidentally don't know the name of, unfortunately.
No, as long as it flowers out.
Yeah, but celery, I've never grown celery before, I've got to be honest with you. I have grown leaves for soup, because I've seen like load of leaves. Yeah. So this will be the first time, and you reckon it's self-blanching?
Yes, just put that in the ground. Yeah. With celery, you got to make sure it never dries out, because it's a semi-bog plant celery, so always keep the soil really wet.
Okay.
Apart from that, just let it do its own thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You'll be enjoying that. Nice bit of cottage cheese or cream cheese.
Ooh. Well, just like that, your wife supplied you with a nice cake. Yeah. She's had a nice cup of tea and cake, haven't we?
Yep.
So, I'm enjoying my time. Is it up here? Down here?
It's down here.
It's down here. Yeah. Getting where I am now.
Definitely down in the Midlands. Yeah. Okay then, Al. That's been nice to meet you. We'll carry on with our tour when the camera's switched off, and we'll see you guys later on. All the best.
All the best.
Bye for now.
Bye. Yeah, very good.